public service announcement. It's not too late to start over, to close your open tabs. You'll never start that cookie company. You're keto now. Close your tab. You missed the January 6th RSVP. Close your tab. There are 13 newer pronouns now. Close your tab. You don't need to know what a pangolin is anymore. Close your tab. Jenny is a dinosexual now. Close your tab. That GoFundMe will never reload. The funeral was 6 months ago. Close your tab. Close those tabs. Start again. Run. Run into the fields. Be free. I forgive you. Clara, who died 6 months ago, she forgives you as well. Clara, God rest your soul. Thank you. I wanted to do a few quick follow-ups on crypto. I did a whole episode on crypto. Well, there's been some fascinating events since. I saw this tweet from the Attorney General of DC, Karl Racine. Today, we're suing Michael Saylor, a billionaire tech executive who has lived in the district for more than a decade, but has never paid any DC income taxes for tax fraud. If you remember, Michael Saylor had a starring role in my crypto episode. Apparently, this gentleman does not enjoy paying taxes, which kind of makes sense because he loves crypto. So anyway, couldn't happen to a nicer guy, I guess. He said some crazy things. He was a Pied Piper. He sucked a lot of people into losing money on crypto and ultimately deserves what he gets. Also, I saw that Crypto.com is seeking the return of about 10.5 million Australian dollars, 7.2 million in US dollars. It accidentally transferred to a woman in Melbourne, and she used it to buy a house. Look, the saddest thing about this story is not that this woman used money that didn't belong to her to buy a house, but that Australia doesn't have its own currency symbol. Why would you name your currency a dollar if you can't even get your own spot on the keyboard? You got to put an A in front of a US dollar symbol? It's just sad. Australia, I hereby declare you guilty. I sentence every single one of you to a remote prison colony full of sun and giant rodents that hop. That is your sentence. Now go out there and suffer. So I mentioned how crypto doesn't actually disrupt anything. I saw this announcement from a crypto company. It said they've launched a truly decentralized wallet supported by Visa Card. Visa Card. They're disrupting the payments industry and currency and money by partnering with Visa, which represents the system they're trying to disrupt. The delusions here, in the same sentence, this was a tweet from one of the founders of this company, Elja Boom, presenting the truly decentralized Oxy.io wallet, which is supported by Visa Card. Feels revolutionary to be able to pay for any product with BNB Chain and others. What is revolutionary? You're going to convert your currency into dollars, then it'll go into your Visa account, you will pay with your Visa, and the merchant gets cash. What did you do? What did you decentralize? You just created extra steps. It's a stupid idea. You've created complexity where none was necessary. This is idiotic. This is a big waste of a lot of people's time. Now, just a few random thoughts. If you view each app update as a tiny little digital Christmas gift, you will never be unhappy again. The world has yet to confront the consequences of making crackers out of cheese. We're headed for a keto apocalypse, and no one can stop it. Can you imagine people are melting perfectly good cheese to turn into crackers? This is heresy. You'd be burned at the stake at half the countries in the world. Monsters. You guys are monsters. A keto-apocalypse is coming and no one's going to be able to stop it. No one. Maybe the great Muhammad, but that's about it. There's so many podcasts out now that we need a podcaster deathmatch. We need a final decision on which BetterHelp code to use. I hope that all of you join me today in a moment of silence to celebrate the 6-year anniversary of Apple and all the other companies replacing the gun emoji with a squirt gun, and all the peace it has brought upon us all around the world, or across the world for my flat earth friends. Now, a moment of silence. Beautiful. Thank you, Apple. Thank you for bringing peace upon us. Amen. So many people are mad at Trump for stealing documents, allegedly, or the FBI for raiding the home of a former president. I'm reserving all of my vitriol and anger for a system that wastes so much paper. What the hell happened to the paperless Oval Office we were promised in the 90s? What happened? We're still printing? Why? Look, if you're going to steal documents, please make them PDFs for the children. Do it for the children, please. I beg of you. It's far easier to believe in your own originality than your ignorance of the ideas of others. I don't know exactly when it happened, but in our society, we've elevated the clowns. The people who entertained were once court jesters. They were the lowest of the low. Even in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way through like the Jewish comedians in the Catskills, these were not considered top echelon people. Like at some point when they got on TV and that became more prestigious, maybe. But for the longest time, if you announced to your parents that you're going into show business, there was a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling, a lot of crying. They would much rather you go into accounting because that was at least a sure thing. This was a pipe dream. And not even that, it was just perceived to be very low grade and very unbecoming, just singing and dancing for people while other people are actually working in society. People, up until recently, all of their days have been consumed with just survival, gathering enough food, earning enough money to support themselves and their families. There wasn't extra money or time left over for tons of entertainment, to go to movies. Now there's nothing but time for entertainment. And we have so much of it that we've somehow elevated it to this pursuit that is unjustified in terms of its social status and social value. At the end of the day, these are clowns. Arguably this too, but at least I'm trying to bring some wisdom from my years of corporate and consulting and working with startups and making money. But this, just dancing monkey? The dancing monkey maybe gets a few coins in the jar, but the dancing monkey does not get our respect, and we don't get to hear its opinions on climate change or war or Ukraine or anything else that's happening in the world. Yeah, they have reach, but they should have no effect on people's opinions because their opinions are just opinions. That's it. No more, no less. In fact, less, because a lot of them aren't particularly well educated. That's it for this episode. I'm Steve Faktor. Hope you enjoyed it. Share it with others. Tell a friend. Support the show on patreon.com/McFuture. There will be bonuses there. And I will see you next week on the McFuture.